Hi friends, and welcome to my very first video on what not to do when you're planning a trip somewhere. In my quest to travel the world, I decided to go to London, and I thought it would be a cool idea to spend a weekend there. So I went from Texas all the way to London for just a weekend, and here are some of the things that I learned that I would not do again if I had the chance to plan another trip to London. Number 1, don't plan the whole trip by yourself. And I know what you're thinking, if you're going with other people, this might seem obvious that you're not going to be planning the trip by yourself, but I was actually going solo, so this was my first solo international trip, and I did bear the burden of planning the entire thing by myself. And even though I went solo, if I were to plan another trip to London again, I would recruit one of my friends to help me in the planning process, just to take a little bit of the pressure off myself. Number 2, don't stay awake the whole plane ride if you're getting to London in the morning or midday. What happened was, when I flew over there, I had stayed awake the entire plane ride, which I think was about 8 or 9 hours. And when I arrived there, it was midday, and I had already been awake for about 24 hours, so I ended up being exhausted the entire afternoon and evening on that first day when I was there. Just be very aware of the time difference and plan your sleep accordingly. Number 3, do not be a total cheapskate, or at least you don't have to be one, when you're booking your accommodations in London. So I love budget traveling, and I love Airbnb, and I'm definitely cheap when it comes to pretty much everything. So what I did when I was booking my stay in London, I just looked at pretty much the almost absolute cheapest places that still had decent reviews, and actually that might not have been the best idea. I could have gotten a much better place for only $4 or $5 US more when I was making my bookings, and that was something I realized on the second night I was there. Even though I was still staying in very cheap, low-cost places, I paid a few extra dollars for the third night that I was there, and the stay was remarkably better. Of course, pay attention to your budget, and depending on what kind of trip you want to have, if you want to be on the cheaper side or on the more luxurious side, then just pay attention to those reviews on the accommodations that you're staying in, and don't make the mistake like I did of just assuming that it would be a still okay place for a slightly lower price. Number 3, no open lists. So what do I mean by this? I thought it would be really fun as part of my adventure in London to pretty much just have a list of all the things that I wanted to do, and then try to cram in as many as possible in the little time that I had. And really what I should not have done was not plan what days I was doing those activities. It would have gone a lot smoother if I had said, okay, I'm arriving on this date, I'm going to do this and this on the first day, this and this on the second day, this and this on the third day. So basically having a complete itinerary would be much better to maximize your time, especially if you're only going to be staying there for 3 days or 2 days, and especially for 1 day. Have those ready in order so that you know more of what you're gonna do. Number 5, don't go off what the weather said 2 days before you get there. Try to check the weather as soon as humanly possible before you leave, so you know for sure that you have everything packed for any type of weather that's thrown at you. Before I went to London, I didn't really think about it, but I had been checking the weather for probably about a month up until I actually left and went to London, and I checked the weather 2 days before I left, but the day before the weather changed and it changed to rainy, whereas 2 days prior it was clear skies, clear sunny skies. So I had a rain jacket, but I wasn't prepared for the cold rain, and I probably should have brought a better umbrella than the tiny miniature one that I did bring along. Number 6, don't underestimate the time that it takes to actually get through the airport, get out of the airport once your flight lands in London. and also the time it will take to get to the airport and through the check-in before your flight leaves London. And this is a tip for any trip that you're going to take. Just be aware of the time that it takes and probably add about a half hour getting through an airport if you're going to a different country. Number seven. Don't let the jet lag get the best of you. When I got to London, I was definitely very jet lagged, and on the second day I was there, I accidentally took a 4-hour nap in the middle of the day, and it pretty much, like, I could have done a lot more that day, but I didn't because I just kind of gave in to the exhaustion instead of getting another soda or whatever to stay awake longer. So don't give in to the jet lag, fight through it, it'll be worth it. And the last one, number 8, is don't change your flight back home mid-trip. Just have everything all put together before you leave. It'll be a lot easier on you, I promise. As soon as I got to London, I realized that I would need longer than the 2.5 days that I had booked. And so I actually changed my flight, even though I had already gotten the tickets printed out. So it was a little bit of a hassle, and I definitely believe that it was worth it for me because I got to see more of the things that I wanted to see. But if I were to do it again, I would have just definitely booked the right amount of time that I wanted before going there. Just keep it simple and stick to the flights that you already had booked. And of course, don't forget to have fun. So there are my 8 things on what not to do when you're planning a trip to London. I really hope you enjoyed these tips. There are probably more things that I should not have done when I was planning my trip to London and when I was in London, but those were the most relevant ones. So I hope you enjoyed that. If you liked this video, then please go ahead and subscribe to my channel and like this video and share it with whoever you want to. I will be putting out more videos like this one, travel tips, travel inspiration, and sharing some of my travels around the world too. So it'll be a fun journey to be on with me. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.